Guys, I am at a house that my realtor friend has sent me to. They have me do inspections and take a look at houses that are being sold and foreclosures and see how well the AC is working. The last one was horrible. It was a trailer from hell. So we'll see how much better this one is, because it's got to be better. Well, the first thing we can do is take that filter out. She looks kind of stank. I can turn on the Mitsubishi, see if it comes on and all that good stuff while I'm going to get my ladder. There's the old Mitsubishi. That's some ugly shit down there. Man, oh man. And here's our remote. Let's see here. Open it up here. As low as it goes, I guess. And we'll see if it pops on outside. I can't really see the damn thing. 59 degrees. Alright, well the fan's running right now. I can get my ladder anyway. It's pretty dirty. It always looks worse when you look down on it. You see a little bit of light coming through there, but it's pretty funky. So I'm just leaving it out while we're testing. It's like one of those Home Depot thermostats. Let's say go all the way to emergency heat. Let's see if we can get the strips to come on. Make sure it clicks over here. Alright, so it says emergency heat fan on. Let's go see if they're on. 45 amps means we have 10 kW heat on. The heat strips are working. I use a little bit different style of relay there. We'll check this lower capacitor too to make sure it's squared away. Good old York, what the fork? F2 RPO 36. Down the street from here, we replaced a couple Yorks with Bryants about a year and a half ago. One of the ECM motors died already. On capacitance here. We'll see if we have the proper capacitance. Oh, let's see here. 9.31. Close enough. It's not dead. Coil looks kind of rusty. Probably been kind of cold in there. What it looks like. Look at that large return. Looks like it is the right size, 18-inch. So the return looks right as far as code for this area. Nice looking duct system, metal pipe both directions. Flex could be hung up a little bit better, but hell, it might have been hung up. Looks like there's one of them straps dangling over there. So duct system looks pretty good. We'll see. A little bit of rust in the cabinet on that limit switch for the heater. Not too bad though. We're looking up inside a disconnect. Thought I heard a little bit of electrical noise come up from over here, and it might have been nothing. But I look up in there, and that copper looks a little bit discolored. So I'm going to make sure that thing is tight, just as a precaution. Just the one copper leg on the right there. Not the aluminum one on the very far right, but the next one over just has a slightly different look than this copper coming out of here. I'm just going to tighten it up and make sure it's squared away before I walk out of here. Maybe nothing, but I'll sleep better. We have our York unit. We're going to open it up here. 3-ton air handler with a 3 or 2.5 ton heat pump, looks like. So we'll open it up, make sure we have power, because it should be running if it has power. Got the meter on. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. We have 0 volts. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what we have to ground. 124. Excellent. That's why you check it to ground. 124. See between the two. Let's figure out what's going on. We're gonna look inside this disconnect. See what we got. I got it turned off right now. Disconnects might suck a little bit because they went in the attic. I had to reset twice to get it to work. So I have to recommend that sucker goes bye-bye. Let's see. There's 24 volts there. Nothing there. What the world? 24 volts. 0. 12 volts. 120. 120 here. Practically nothing on this one. We're gonna have to go back to the panel and take a look at it. So we're gonna take this faceplate off, take a look at this. Our AC is on. We'll see how many volts that breaker's sitting out, see if we got a shit breaker. I had the one plug in between two grounds here. I have my voltage checker. Go to the first one here. It's putting us at like 6 to 12 volts. Second one we have 120, so it looks like the breaker is shit. I'm gonna try to take it out, see if I have another one on the truck so we can test this thing out. Man, she is definitely toast. Part of the breaker is still on there. Oh man, I think they might need a licensed electrician. I want to see if the range breaker falls apart too. It looks like it's about to fall apart as well. Good grief. Maybe I could change the breaker spaces and just check this thing out. But this has some major problems right here. Guys, I have an ETM breaker, which was a match for the existing Cutler hammer breakers. And we can see that I have 120 volts now after I cleaned off the terminals a little bit on the yeah, you can see it. It's complete shit right there. The breaker next to it's destroyed too. It's just horrible. I would turn it off if I weren't afraid. Good grief. Actually, let's go ahead and turn it off. This is definitely gonna need some attention, but I cleaned these two off so I could run the machine for a little while, and hopefully the machine's fine, but we'll see. Now we have good old 240 volts to our disconnect. We should be able to turn the machine on. I'm gonna go ahead and hook up the pressure gauges. We'll run it in heat for a few minutes and we'll run it in cool as well. All right, she's alive, guys. We'll let her see where she goes here. See what kind of approaches we get after a few minutes. She's a little bit rattly. She's a little bit wobbly. You can get a wall. Right now we have 42 on the suction side, 187 on the high side, a little bit low, but we're still getting started here. 8 amps on the entire machine. The compressor's probably pulling about an amp less than that. So low amps on the compressor overall for 2.5 tons, and low pressure as well, but we're gonna give it a few more minutes to see how it shapes out. Big difference between the DTH35 and the thermostat here, 66 and 72.1, and I'm thinking this one's right because it feels relatively warm in here. Does that feel like 66? So I don't know what the deal is with the thermostat. Off by that many degrees is kind of crappy. We'll let it run for about 5 or 10 more minutes. We'll check the pressures. We'll switch it to AC. Looks like we got some crack in here. The floor is kind of giving away in the middle too. Real bad right here next to the Bible verse written on the floor. It is. It's really bouncing. Must be some structural problems. All right, guys, it's been about 10 minutes. 87 degrees on the liquid line. That puts us at a 10 degree subcooling. For heating isn't all that impressive. 61 outside. 44.9 on the suction sides. A little bit low there, a little bit low on the head side. 192, 98 degrees. So we shall see. I'm going to turn this thing off here in a second. We're going to put it in cooling. We'll see what kind of difference that makes. Guys, I can tell you right off the bat we're having issues here for sure. Our head pressure being 120, which is only a few degrees above the ambient right now. And this machine's probably at least 12 SEER, if not 10 SEER, so we should be 25 or 30 degrees above ambient. 46.8, you know, we have a 70 degree, 72, 73 degree return temperature, but our head pressure is so low. This is a piston system. We have 69.970. That puts us right about 50 degrees of superheat, which I'm sure is above target by quite a bit. Target's probably in the mid-20s right now. So we'll let it run for a few more minutes, but if it stays like this, we'll definitely have an issue as far as the leaker somewhere. It's probably the damn coil like all the other ones. We were pretty much staying where we were before. You know, 2-3 degrees of subcooling, 50 degrees of superheat. Definitely low on charge. I'm going to shut everything down, take a quick skim across the indoor coil to see if that's our problem. If it's our problem, I mean, they're relatively expensive around here, so I don't know if they're going to want to change it or not, or change the air handler, or what they want to do, but we shall see. Leaker. She's a leaker, like all the other Yorks before her. See a lot of Yorks in this style. Evaporators leak on them. For some reason, I don't know why. Not back behind there. Yep, she's a leaker. Oh well. We'll check the accumulator real quick outside in the service valves, just to make sure. She's a leaker. Leaker. Go towards the light, everybody.